one woman's quest to find answers sparked a story that's going to change the lives of millions.
I didn't have the self-worth to get out of the abusive situation for myself. I have 3 children that are the light of my life, and they are the reason, the encouragement, the purpose for me getting out of my marriage.
Holly Walker finds herself in a devastating situation.
He picked me up by my neck, threw me on the hood of my car in front of our youngest daughter, beat my head into the hood of my car, and choked me until I could hardly breathe.
Betrayed by the people who were supposed to love her, struggling just to get back on her feet, having to fight a court battle to get custody of her 3 young children.
During this process, there were days that were extremely hard, that I really second-guessed and questioned, what have I done? And I decided that I was going to turn my life around.
She got the idea of looking for a life coach, and she found a lady on the west coast of the United States, Kimberly Truitt. Kimberly told her she could build the life she really wanted, and she began to coach her. Holly's life began to change.
I reached a point in time in my life where I decided that I was letting other people determine my happiness. And I realized that my purpose in life is to help people who are just like me.
Holly and I became good friends, and today she's a leader in the professional and personal development industry. This film, Beyond the Secret, is an expression of Holly's dream, one way of helping you and the millions of people that will be watching it. You know, the story that I've just shared with you of Holly Walker is a true story. As a matter of fact, I really played the story down. If you knew the truth about the transformation that took place in this lady, how she went from winning to nowhere and right back up again, you would never wonder whether you could win. And that's the purpose of this film. We want to recommend that you go beyond the surface, really take a look at who you are and what you are. Do you know that there's around 11 million kilowatt hours per pound potential energy locked up in the electrons in the atoms of your body? Phenomenal power. We've got enough potential energy in us to light up a small town for nearly a week. What do you really want? Listen carefully as each person comes on the screen. Listen to what they have to say, because they're going to put a spotlight on something that Holly wants you to hear. But don't just listen to it. Understand it. Listen to it frequently, and then apply it. Life is a magnificent journey. It truly is, but only if we make it that way, and we have the potential to do that.
Hi, I'm Holly Walker, and welcome to Beyond the Secret. What's the value of one really good idea applied to one specific area of your life?
If you consider that every building in every city across our world has its ancestry in human thought, leading scientists and specific principles from the field of quantum mechanics are confirming what spiritual teachers have been telling us for centuries. This isn't just wishful thinking. It is a practical application for success in life. And the key that unlocks it is human intention.
The law of attraction is no longer a secret. It's been discussed, ripped apart, examined, and put into practice by those with the awareness of how to use it to their benefit. You may be like I was, confused, disappointed, or maybe you just have a lot of questions that you need answered. My website has received thousands of emails. I think I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, but it's not happening fast enough. Why am I not making more money? Why isn't the law of attraction? I want to start living my dream lifestyle, not just dreaming about it. How do I do that? I made it my mission to find the answers. I set out to meet with the teachers who inspired me, the ones who really spoke to me and helped guide me through some very difficult times in my life. And literally, through the law of attraction, over the course of a year and a half, I was able to sit down with some of the world's leading visionaries and most inspirational teachers and ask questions. The wisdom that they share in this film is invaluable, and you can use it starting today to change your life.
I have heard time and time again, and you've probably heard this yourself, that the law of attraction doesn't work. That's like saying the law of gravity doesn't work. The law of attraction is always working, just as the law of gravity is. Gravity keeps you sitting on a chair and you're not bouncing off a ceiling. But if you use it wrong and walk off a building, you're toast. Well, it's the same with the law of attraction. The law of attraction, though, is a secondary law. The law of vibration is the primary law, and the vibration you're in dictates what you're going to attract.
When you're in the vibration of having ideas, everything that's in harmony with having that experience will start to be attracted to you.
Like energy attracts like energy. If you're not in a good vibration, you're going to attract stuff you don't want. But the law of attraction's always working. It's a matter of understanding it and bringing our mind and body, our whole being, into the right vibration so that we attract what we want.
So if you think you're using the law of attraction, but you're not creating the results you want, it's sort of like taking a lamp to an electric plug. So if I'm carrying a lamp and I'm heading over to an electric plug, and I plug that lamp in, and I don't get any light, I don't get down on my knees and beg the law of electricity to please, dear law of electricity. I've thought about the law of electricity, I've done everything I know, how to be in harmony with the law of electricity, but I'm not getting any electricity, so please help me get electricity. We would never do that. We would think something's out of whack here. Either the wiring in the walls is incorrect, the cord is got a short in it, or the light bulb needs to get changed. And we would know that we need to do something to bring ourselves in harmony with the law of electricity. And it's not different with the law of attraction.
So what we're thinking about manifests many times in our daily lives, but sometimes people think that a thought is an actual thing, like what I'm thinking about right now, instead of where I'm thinking from. Where I'm thinking from. So thought is more than a thing. A thought is the very essence of our life.
Now, just because we don't understand that doesn't mean that you should reject it. You want to go beyond that and start to understand how your mind works, the relationship of the mind to the body, and then you'll start to see why you're getting what you're getting and how to change it if you don't like it.
You've probably been taught or learned that thoughts become things. And they do become things. They become our belief system. They become our identity, our self-worth.
Thoughts become things when they're aligned with feelings, when they're aligned with action, when they're aligned with strategic relationships, when they're aligned with your gift, with your calling, with whatever it is that you're bringing out in the universe.
Thoughts becoming things. Let me turn that around. Everything was at one time a thought.
Everything that's not green or water has been shaped by the imagination of the human mind.
Everything you look at is created twice. Thinking is the highest function that we're capable of. And when we think, we take thoughts and we join those thoughts together and we create ideas. And by holding the idea in our mind and getting emotionally involved, it causes us to move into action. And it also sets up an attraction. And it's the action, the attraction that alters the conditions, circumstance, and environment in our life.
It's not enough to be talking about your dream, thinking about your dream, praying and hoping for your dream. You really do need to take action. It's been my experience that with one single action step, everything changes. You're no longer thinking about it, talking about it, you're doing something about it. People relate to you differently. You relate to you differently. New resources show up as you have a new perspective.
Isn't that it drops in, like, you know, the whole picture just drops in, but you'll get threads of it. You'll see little, like a sprout coming up. If you honor the sprout and nurture it, it will grow, it will send down roots, it'll begin to flower and blossom, and ideas come forth this way. And that's how you build a dream. You get a very clear idea, you nurture that dream. The law of gestation is important as it helps you grow that dream, but you have to take steps every single day.
Take action. Create what I call a wow within 1 week. What's the step that you're going to take to demonstrate you're more committed to your dream than to any doubt, fear, or reality that might get in your way? It's in acting on your dream that it truly becomes real.
A baby step in the direction of your dream and the direction of what you want to create. The law of the universe will work just fine. It's about us learning how it works, getting in coherence with that, and practicing that on a daily basis. So baby steps are a great way to take your steps forward. Baby steps will take you all the way up Mount Everest, by the way, if you just keep taking them.
And oftentimes, the change takes place first inside before it's expressed outside.
If you're taking action and you don't see the results, be aware that it's coming. And in fact, if you do build your awareness around and start looking for little examples, little results that actually are coming your way, I think you'll find that they're already there.
What I've realized is when I was relying on just blind faith, whenever I would meet with this condition or circumstance that I didn't know how to go through, oftentimes I stepped backwards into safety. It's really faith based on understanding how we operate that allows us to move confidently through that terror barrier and into that area of unknown outside of our comfort zone.
It takes 5 years to become a plumber. It takes 5 years to become a mechanic. I'm not quite sure how long it takes to become a medical doctor, but I would imagine a few more than that. Well, we can't watch a 70-minute DVD and like that understand what makes life tick. We've got to make a decision that we're going to study something about ourselves.
It takes a different kind of process to grow the bamboo tree. You plant the seed and you water and you cultivate the soil for 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, the bamboo tree that does not break through the ground in those 5 years, in 6 weeks it grows over 90 feet tall. Now the question is, did it grow 90 feet tall in 6 weeks or in 5 years? And I say in 5 years. Because had at any point in time you stop watering it, at any point in time you stop cultivating the soil, the bamboo tree would die in the ground. A lot of people, because they're impatient and they want things right now, they allow their dreams to die in rejection. They allow their dreams to die in bankruptcy. They allow their dreams to die in negative conversations. They allow their dreams to die in excuses. They allow their dreams to die inside of them because they're not patient. They don't trust. They don't believe. Belief and trust gives you patience.
When we're born, we are programmed to move along a certain track. That's called genetic conditioning. It's part of a paradigm, part of a control mechanism in our mind. And then we're programmed environmentally.
Thoughts that you hold and the thoughts that you choose start to create your beliefs. They create your paradigms. They create the filters through which you see your world. Those beliefs are really what determine the actions that you're willing or not willing to take. And I don't think it takes any genius to tell you that the actions that you take in life are those things that are most responsible for the results that you're getting.
I think the first thing you have to do is you've got to decide exactly what you want and then write it out in a vision form.
We can take a pen and a piece of paper and decree our own destiny.
Like a story, like it's already happened, like it's present tense.
Now, if we don't do that, and unfortunately not that many people do, then it's predetermined. It's predestined by the paradigm that's built into us at birth. But you have the ability to change it.
You build the image, you get emotionally involved with that image, you hold that image in your mind of that life that you want to live and you in it. And you will begin to see those results manifest themselves. That is the way to create the life that you want.
Our gifts come to serve the world, not to make us rich first, you know. And so, but I was trying to get rich off my gifts. And I was so sad. I worked the principles too. I wrote it down. I did all the things that I learned to do early in the game. And I was very depressed a lot of the times because what I wanted to see happen was not manifesting.
You know, we live in this GPS society where we think we have to know every single step we've got to make, and it's really not that way.
It didn't dawn on me that maybe I was on the wrong track, that maybe there was something better for me.
As long as we know what the very first step is for us to take, and we may not even have a clear idea of that. Thoreau said if we'll just advance confidently just in the direction of our dream, we can live the life we've imagined.
But one thing that I didn't stop doing was that I didn't stop singing, and I didn't stop writing songs, and I didn't stop with my interest in music. I loved it.
What we need to know is why, what our purpose is. Knowing how to do something really is at best guessing. That's something that's left to our Creator, to our relationship and understanding of how God operates with and through us.
I got to a spiritual community that really inspired me, and I heard the message. I heard this message that said I was more than my idea of what I thought life was. There was something greater happening than what my disappointment had said the world was. I was disappointed with the world. I was disappointed with everything. I was pissed off. I was mad. I was cynical, you know, because I had worked the principles, I thought. And I was like, once I really understood what that meant, I became alive again. That numbness inside of me began to thaw. You know, that numbness from disappointment began to really thaw. God never meant for me to be Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie, like Oprah said, Lionel Richie was taken. You know, I was here to be Ricky. Well, what did that mean? You know, what? And then I started writing these songs of inspiration, writing songs about, you know, about love, about God. That's what I came to do. That's what I came to do.
I received an email from a woman who got married at an early age, had children, and she's now divorced. She works at a job that she doesn't like to support her family. Her email had so much in common with a lot of others.
You feel overwhelmed by responsibility, and it may be true that you do feel stuck. That thinking is the problem. The other stuff isn't really the problem. The thinking that you're stuck is the problem. So I know it's hard to think differently when you really think you're stuck. That's why you want to study this, and that's why you want to get some help thinking differently. Okay, if I didn't believe I was stuck, what options do I have? If I didn't believe that I was going to be stuck for the rest of my life with this, what could I do?
The mistakes you've made in the past, you've already paid for. You don't have to pay twice. Start right now. Redefine what it is that you want. Begin to take the steps to the dream job that you do want.
And you think into the solution. You begin to think from a believing that maybe there's an opportunity. I don't know the opportunity yet, but just maybe. And onto that parched field of believing, let one little drop of water land and say, if I didn't believe it was totally impossible for me to have a life that was really fulfilling, what could I do?
There are people who can say, you know, Les, I made a lot of early mistakes. And because of the mistakes I made, because of those decisions that I made some short-term decisions that had some long-term consequences. And as a result of that, I can't live my dream now.
Well, that's all in the past. That's all gone. You've paid for that.
Don't allow what's going on right now to define you. Be open to the possibilities. One, of getting some help. Also understand and know and expect things to get better for you. And ask yourself, what is it that you need to do differently?
But it takes a mind who's willing to explore, expand, extend, and you can choose to do that.
You've overcome significant challenges to be where you are today.
Don't give power to the mistakes of the past. That's behind you now. Look at yourself right now.
Build on that. Build on what you've brought into the world and what you've overcome. And understand that you can achieve so much more if you just apply what's inside of you.
Because it's your life, and you're a co-creator, and you get to choose any life you want to have. But the problem really isn't the problem. The problem is always my thinking about the problem.
It's never too late to change your life. It's never too late to make a dream come true. And it's never too late to create a new dream for your life.
Ask yourself, where do I want to go from here? Begin to focus on the possibilities. See, whatever you focus on the longest will become the strongest. If you talk about, and I know this from my own situation, I talked about, well, I don't have a college education. Well, I was labeled educable mental retarded. Well, I'm adopted. Well, I never worked for a major corporation. All of the things that I focused on, that became the dominant story in my mind. When I began to flip that script and I became convinced in my spirit that what I had is enough. What you have is enough. Where you are right now, that's enough. That's all you need. If you have the faith of a mustard seed, if you hold a mustard seed in your hand, you can't see it. You don't have to have a whole lot.
It is absolutely pertinent that you have a dream. If you don't have a dream and you're taking action every single day, then there's really nothing that separates you from a hamster running around in a wheel. Yeah, you're getting a lot done, but you're moving nowhere. The dream is what gives that action direction.
I would really like to believe what you're telling me, Bob, but I feel stuck. By the time I get home and get the kids to bed, I'm beat. I'm in hock right up to here. I don't have the money to really buy some of the things or attend some of the programs you're talking about. And quite frankly, I'm tired. I really don't know how to make it work.
What is something that I know I could do, know I should do, and know if I would do, it would move me closer to my dream? Now, I'm not asking that you're going to have an answer that's going to make this big quantum leap. What's just the first step?
I have a friend who does a seminar called How to Earn Over $200,000 a Year with Your Eyes Closed. Mike Jones out of Philadelphia. He's been blind since he was 10 years old. Tawana Williams, she wrote a book called Unarmed But Dangerous. She's the president of her own corporation. She was a 10-year crack addict, a single mother, and she was born without arms. Oh, what's your excuse? I say you're bigger than your excuse.
Stop focusing on your reality. Start to ask yourself, how do you want your life to be? And then take action steps to prove that you're not just talking about it.
You're not inspired. And you're not inspired because you don't have a goal. You have things you want that you wish for. You're being controlled by what's going on in your outside world.
Your external circumstances are just a mere reflection of your internal circumstances.
I've gone into prisons. I've seen people that were stuck beyond what you could believe, and I've watched them change. There is a way, but you've got to have a reason, and it's got to be a good one. It's got to be something you want.
And not all dreams need to be Mother Teresa dreams. We're lucky that there are people in the world that do want to make the world a better place. But your dream of spending more quality time with your family, your dream of being paid well for doing something you really love, your dream of being healthy and physically fit, these are really important dreams as well.
Looking at